here with the Triumph Tiger 900. And this is a really interesting bike. It took a little while to come to Taiwan, but the 800 has been one of those classics that has been popular because of its all-around ability. You could go globe-trotting on it, go across, the world. You could take it on the street, it's happy on the street, and you could take it off-road, and it's pretty happy off-road. And one of the things that the owners had said was basically it has no low-end grunt, no low-end power. And so with the 900, they addressed that by changing the firing order so it acts a little bit more like a twin. So Sascha has been riding the 900 quite some time, quite a bit. Can you tell us your thoughts on the engine?
Well, the engine, to be honest, I like the 800 already. It is no twin cylinder, definitely, but for most riders, that engine was actually pretty good. The 900 now it's huge step. There's a very significant change to the engine. It has a lot more grunt at the bottom end, and it's a lot more fun to ride off road. I dare to say that it gets actually pretty close to a V-twin, but it pushes, but it's a little bit smoother. Right? So for anything that is not absolutely hardcore, this engine is actually really, really nice to ride. Like it is, in Germany we would say butter, right? It is so smooth. It is nice. The first gear, similar to the 800, is very long. So if you don't want to push and go really crazy, whatever, the first gear is actually more usable than on twin cylinders. So this engine is really, really nice. Really enjoyed for longer rides. A little bit technical riding is actually pretty good. What I would not, or parts that I would improve a little bit, is actually not on the engine side. The engine is actually pretty good and very versatile and lots of fun to ride.
Yeah, so looking at the engine here, you can tell it hangs down a bit, and it looks like some very important bits are down low, and the stock skid plate is not that thick. So what are your thoughts about the crash protection and the overall ability to withstand hard hits?
Yeah, the skid plate, it is better than plastic, yes. But then to be fair, most manufacturers, they don't really provide the best of the best. So this is not a Triumph problem, whatever, But it is better than plastic. So this is something I like. Most manufacturers, they give you a plastic flimsy thing on the bottom. So this is good. The crash bars, it's nice that they come with some crash bars. One thing, obviously, I'm used to my 890, to my 790, or let's say some KTMs. When it comes down to crashing, I like that they use different plastics, but that's when we talk about the 890. The Tiger, let's put it this way, does it crash well? I would suggest to get some upper crash bars as well, because the Triumph is a very beautiful bike. And it is more beautiful than KTM's, whatever, but that also means it scratches easier. So
the tank is sitting out here, and it looks like it's likely to take some damage. And then I was watching a video, and they were, even with the upper crash bars, those can even kind of bend in, and you can do a little bit of tank damage even then.
I'm not a big fan of upper crash bars, because most of these crash bars, they don't have a fixed mounting point at the top. The only bike model that at the top can withstand a very serious crash would be the GSA. Not even the GS, the GSA, because it has a mounting point at the very top. So you can rock the whole thing and it doesn't move. But any other model, basically, it just has these flimsy little parts or mounts, and you can still, even with a hand, you can move it around. So it's good for on-road use, but off-road use, a lot of times there are plenty of riders who had that experience. They crack their tank or their what's called the plastics, because the upper crash bars were forced in. And yeah, but the thing is, like, compared to the 800, the tank doesn't stick out that much anymore. That's something good.
Okay.
Same goes with the indicators, right? The indicators on the 800, they were somewhere in the middle. Even if you just dropped the bike while not even riding, those were basically gone. So they're higher up, so that's something good. But no, the bike is, I would say, standard. You know, it's comparable to an Africa Twin, and other bikes, or the Tenere. So yeah, crash protection is needed. The black parts over there, I've realized that I dropped the bike in sand while making a U-turn, so going really, really slow, and I had lots of these micro scratches. So I was like really surprised. I took out some wax, whatever, then they were gone. But like before I got home, it was really, really obvious. Like someone took sandpaper, whatever, you know. So it's a beautiful bike, and but that has nothing to do with handling, whatever. It's just something to bear in mind if you drop the bike. Yeah, make sure that you have a good skid plate on it. If possible, crank up the sack a little bit more, just to get a little bit more ground clearance out. But obviously that depends on your weight and everything. But still, but other than that, yeah, it's actually it's pretty much standard. It's not super awesome, but it's definitely not bad.
Yeah. So how does it handle off road? Just handling wise.
Oh, it's great. Actually, handling wise, to me personally, it is actually not too far away from the 800, but I like the 800. I liked how it handled. It was really good. You know, it is actually, you know, it almost plays in the same league as the 790, 890. It's really, really nimble, right? It has a little bit longer tank than the 790, 890, or let's put this with the foot pegs and the bars a little bit further apart. So it is actually pretty relaxed, right? So if you don't want to do hardcore stuff while standing, riding some just a little bit technical stuff, it is very comfortable. So that chassis put together with the engine is really, really easy to ride. The power is very, very linear, to me at least. It doesn't come out, you know, running. So it's very, very predictable. And if you want to, you know, do some power drifts, whatever, you know, it's actually pretty linear. You know, it doesn't come out, you know, progressively, but it's very, very linear. But that also goes with the suspension. Huge difference to the 800. The 800 XCA, it was good for normal riding. As soon as you were pushing just a little bit, I'm not talking about hardcore technical stuff. It was not transparent. Because it was more focused on road riding, so it was a little bit harder. But as soon as you had many small hits, a little faster speed, it was just not transparent. It was not really clear. It did its job kind of, but sometimes it was just overwhelmed. With the new Showall forks, they're really awesome. I really like that. The rear is good, but the front is so much more. It's clearer. You know exactly where you place your front wheel. The feedback it gives you, it is really, really nice. And it is a little more on the soft side, for me, being a little bit heavier. But then on the other side, it is more comfortable, right? It soaks up more of the small little bumps, whatever. So it is actually more comfortable for, let's say, easier, more relaxed, but also a little bit more like higher speeds riding. It's still good. Combined with front brakes, to be honest, I expected more from the Brembo brakes. My 790 and 890 calibers, which were made by daughter company from Brembo, whatever, right? They have more bite than those. But then on the other side, off-road is actually really good because you have more, a bigger range, right? You don't over-brake easily, where the off-road ABS will kick in and will try to save you. So this is actually a good thing. But on road, you have to, pull a little bit more than, for example, other models. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. And so that's one thing, again, that I don't understand why they still do that is putting a 17-inch rear wheel on an off-road model. The GT has 17-inch rims. This one, the Rally, has 21 and 17. I don't get it. Why not? If you have two models, why not put an 18-inch rear wheel on an off-road designated model? I don't get that. Because it would have been even a little better, right? For most riding off-road, in my opinion, it's the same. 17, 18 doesn't make that big of a difference. Obviously, on-road riding, it's a little more nimble. Reaction time is a little bit faster and stuff, yes. But if you have a Rally and you call it a Rally, put an 18-inch rear wheel on. You just have the extra little bit of bite. And but handling-wise, it is superb. I really like it. It is easy to handle, no matter if you're a rookie or you're a veteran rider. It is. You get on the bike and you ride. Only one thing. I have no idea why there is that. I don't think it's even plastic. There is this one cover. I have no idea what that is for. On the frame, right where the tank is, and I have no clue what purpose that thing serves. But it has one outcome, one part that really drives almost everyone that I know of, and basically all my students crazy, is when you stand up and you want to, grab your bike with your knees. That piece of plastic, whatever, it's really, really hard. It really just pinches you right into the side of your knee. And it's really uncomfortable, very, very uncomfortable, right? So, and the thing is, like, in order to take that off, it's not just, snap it off. You have to, take off the tank, or at least, lift it up, whatever, So I have no idea why they put that thing on. And I have a student, he's about 190 centimeters tall. So I thought, longer legs, Just lately, I ran to him. He's like, no, it's just still in that knee range, and he hates it. And we have 3-4 students who ride that bike, and they all hate that. Just, if anyone knows, please inform me, educate me. Maybe it's important, I don't know. But for stand-up riding, so far, we all hate that small little piece, because it just reminds you every single meter that you ride that there's a bike between your legs.
Yeah,
It's just not nice.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on the electronics for off-road use?
Well, it has Enduro and Enduro Pro. There is not that big of a difference in my opinion. The only thing is, in Enduro Pro, is basically traction control is off, and I think it's also street throttle. But nowadays, in my opinion, these ride modes, they are very sophisticated. So basically, if you're a rookie, put it into Enduro mode and focus on riding. And if you are a little bit more experienced, you want to have a little more fun, put it into Enduro Pro mode. It's similar to the crash protection. It is standard. It feels good. It does what it says it does, and it's good. It's not spectacular. It's definitely not bad. But it does what they say it does. So it's nice to ride. You put it into that mode, and you just ride.
All right. So if you have any more questions for us, leave them in the comments. We'll try and answer them. So that was our Tiger 900 off-road review. We wanted to do something just a little different, because lots of channels are doing regular ride reviews, and we're kind of focused on the off-road. Check out the full conversation on our podcast. If you like long-form podcast type things, subscribe to us on Sideways and wherever you find your podcasts. Very soon we're going to come out with a video about the 890 Adventure R versus the Tiger 900. So if that's something you're interested in, subscribe and watch for that.